Something happened in heaven that no one ever speaks about. Not because it was hidden, but because it carried too much pain for even angels to look back at. Before rebellion, before pride, before the fall, there was a moment when God looked at Lucifer the way a parent looks at a child who is slowly slipping away. Like watching the light in someone's eyes change before they've spoken a single word. Lucifer stood in one of heaven's highest realms, a place usually alive with joy, harmony, and purpose. Light moved like music. Voices rose like rivers. But he didn't move with it today. He stood too still, quiet in a way that didn't belong in heaven. His beauty hadn't changed. His radiance was still perfect. His golden aura still dawning like a sunrise that never fades. But there was distance in his eyes, small, subtle, but unmistakable. A place inside him that wasn't aligned with heaven anymore. Most angels passing by didn't notice a thing. Why would they? Lucifer was the morning star, the leader of songs, the sound that made heaven feel alive. But even perfection can hide a silent crack. God noticed the crack instantly. He approached without thunder, without judgment. Just a presence that filled the space before words could. Lucifer didn't look up right away. That tiny hesitation, something so small no one else would have seen, spoke more loudly than any confession. He had never hesitated before, not once. When Lucifer finally lifted his gaze, his calm looked rehearsed, like someone trying too hard to look unchanged. God's eyes searched him with a quiet heartbreak, the kind that comes when you realize you might be losing someone you deeply love. The silence between them was heavy, a silence that carried the beginning of eternity's sorrow. Lucifer held himself perfectly still, but inside him something trembled. A thought he had almost convinced himself wasn't there. A desire too new and too dangerous to admit clearly. God drew closer, gentle yet unignorable, his presence carrying both comfort and warning. I see you, I know you, and something inside you is drifting. Lucifer's mind filled with every song he had ever created, every harmony he had lifted toward the throne. And with them came another thought, quiet but powerful. What if I could be more? Not more for heaven, more for himself. A glory not shared, but claimed. God spoke first. Not in anger, not even in disappointment, just truth. You were made for a purpose, a light meant to reflect what I am. The words landed softly, but they shook something deep within Lucifer. He had always known the truth of his creation, but hearing it felt different now, like it confronted something he had been trying to hide from himself. His wings trembled ever so slightly as God continued. Your gifts are entrusted to you. They guide or they blind. The choice is yours, and so are the consequences. Lucifer's eyes drifted toward the open expanse of heaven, the angels singing, unaware of the storm forming inside him. A part of him remembered the joy of walking in perfect harmony with God. But another part, a growing part, imagined a throne, imagined rising higher than he was given. The silence between them grew heavy again. God didn't rush him. He didn't raise his voice. He simply stood with the kind of sorrow that feels like a parent watching a child step too close to the edge. You are drifting, God finally said. The words cut deeper than any warning. They weren't a command. They weren't a threat. They were truth. Pure, painful truth. Lucifer wanted to explain, but nothing came out. Not because he lacked words, but because the truth inside him was too sharp to defend. When he finally spoke, his voice was low, uncertain. I was given light. I can guide. I can rise higher than this place. God answered softly. You can rise, but not the way you imagine. The path you desire will cost more than you are willing to pay. Lucifer felt the weight of that. Pride, ambition, possibility, they tugged at him like a storm. But memories tugged too. Memories of love, of harmony, of the joy he once knew. He stood at a crossroads only his heart could cross. You are brilliant, God said. But brilliance without humility becomes ruin. Lucifer's breath trembled. The truth struck harder than fire. Deep down, he knew it. He knew the desire growing inside him wasn't pure. But he also couldn't let go of the taste of what he thought he could be. The music of heaven shifted ever so slightly, just enough for the oldest angels to feel something was wrong. A fracture forming, a storm gathering. Finally, Lucifer whispered, "I am meant for more." Heaven paused. The light itself seemed to hold its breath. God's sorrow deepened. Taking what is not yours will destroy the very thing that makes you radiant. But Lucifer didn't step back. He couldn't. The desire had grown too strong, and the whisper of ambition too loud. He turned away. No thunder, no explosion of light, just a single step. A quiet step that carried the weight of eternity. The brilliance in him flickered, not dimmed, just changed. Tainted by a longing he could no longer control. God didn't shout. He didn't stop him. He simply watched with a grief deeper than words. Heaven felt the shift, not as sound but as sorrow. Some angels sensed it in the harmony, others in the air. Quiet ache, a tremor in creation's music. Something breaking that couldn't be repaired. God whispered, almost too softly for even heaven to hear, "My love does not end, even now." But Lucifer continued forward, unaware of the darkness waiting for him. Heaven waited, not for battle, not for fire, but for the echo of a choice that had just changed eternity. Now tell me, in that moment, what do you think he felt more deeply? Ambition? Or the weight of what he was losing? Share your thoughts below. Your perspective matters in this story more than you may realize.